Good morning, students and viewers. In the last video, we have discussed something about the entropy calculation, how the entropy changes with respect to pressure and volume and temperature, and some more topic in the case of significance of entropy. Entropy is actually defined as a randomness or disorderness of the molecules. Entropy is actually used to help us to predict whether the reactions feasibly taking place, whether the given reaction thermodynamically feasible or not, or spontaneous reactions, they like irreversible or reversible reactions. Now in this video we are going to see the work function, that is a work function W or A. In the case of Gibbs-Helmholtz function, symbol A, and Gibbs free energy G. This is a very important function because whenever we calculate the disorderness of the system for a molecule, whether the reaction taking place irreversibly or not, it is thermodynamically feasible or not. But for calculating the entropy, we should include the system and the surroundings. Whenever calculate the surrounding other than the system, it is very difficult to find out the value of the surroundings. So we need the another state function like work function, that is A, or Helmholtz function, and Gibbs free energy G. This function used to calculate the energy as well as the system alone. It is actually used to calculate the maximum work done for the system alone. That is a very important concept. The work function, it's actually denoted by the symbol of A. Similarly, we can calculate by using the work function or Gibbs-Helmholtz function how the Gibbs-Helmholtz function and G it relates with the maximum work done at particular pressure or particular temperature here. So now A is equal to U minus Ts. This is a very important concept from the first law of thermodynamics. Similarly, G is equal to H minus Ts. This is also derived from the first law of thermodynamics. A is equal to U minus Ts and G is equal to H minus Ts. Now, for initial and final state, A1 is equal to U1 minus Ts1. Similarly, A2 is equal to U2 minus Ts2. This is the initial and final state of the system when the system changes with respect to pressure and temperature. During the expansion reaction, whenever the expansion reaction taking place, the volume gets increases, and it depends upon the initial and final volume and initial and final temperature. We have already discussed in the last video of entropy calculations. Now, what is when you A2 minus A1 actually gives the A2 minus A1 is equal to U2 minus U1 minus T into actually S2 minus S1. This is a first equation number 1, give the equation number 1. Difference between the A2 minus A1 gives the value of delta A is equal to delta U minus T into delta S. This is equation number 2. So delta A is equal to delta U minus T into delta S. This equation is used to calculate the maximum work done, which will relate with the work function A and W. That's a maximum work done by the system alone. Actually, delta A is equal to delta U minus T delta S. This give the equation number 2. Delta A is the change in delta A is the change in the function A. Change in the function A. That is A is a work function or Gibbs-Helmholtz function. So we know that delta S equal to Q by T. This is the entropy. What is the definition or calculation for entropy? Delta S equal to Q reversible divided by T. Or if you put the T here, T into delta S is equal to Q reversible. Instead of T delta S value of 3, T delta S value substitute in the equation number 2. So 3 equation T delta S value 3 in 2. So actually gives the value of delta A is equal to delta U minus Q. So instead of, we know that from the formula delta A is equal to delta U minus Q reversible. So delta A is equal to actually minus W. From this equation we can derive delta A is equal to minus W or minus delta A is equal to minus delta A is equal to W. This is a final equation which relates the maximum work done with Gibbs-Helmholtz function. This function is actually known as Gibbs-Helmholtz function. Now the W is the maximum work done by the system, hence we can put the charge here minus charge during the given change. Actually this is a change given by the work function. It gives the maximum work done by the system minus W. This is the equation used to calculate the system work done by the system alone. It is not included for the surroundings. So now we can see the Gibbs free energy relationship. So Gibbs-Helmholtz is actually the great scientist which relates the three of the thermodynamics definitions like G, H and S. G is a Gibbs free energy, H is the enthalpy and S is the entropy. He actually relates these thermodynamics terms into the Gibbs free energy, which relates with the maximum work done by the system. So G1, for example, if we take initial state, it's become G1, H1 and S1. So if it is a final state, G2, S2, H2. For the initial and the final state, this is a reaction taking place when at constant temperature. Here at a constant temperature, this value becomes G2 minus G1 is equal to H2 minus H1 minus T into S2 minus S1. This is actually delta G. The difference between the initial and the final value gives the value of delta G is equal to delta H minus T into delta S. So this is gives the equation number 1. We know that delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. This is equation number 2 from the first law of thermodynamics. The enthalpy is given by the equation delta U plus delta V, P delta V. Substitute the value of delta H into the equation number 1. What is the value? Delta G is equal to delta U plus P delta V minus T into delta S. This is the equation number 3. So here one more equation. We know that from the work function relationship, delta A is equal to delta U minus T delta S. So instead of delta U minus T delta S, I can put the value of delta A. So delta G is equal to delta A plus P delta V. This is the equation. Delta A plus P delta V. Delta A is equal to, which relates the equation of minus W, because delta U minus Q, actually from the first law of thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q plus W. Here delta U is equal to Q plus W. W is equal to Q minus delta U, sorry, delta U minus Q. W is equal to delta U minus Q. This is the first law of thermodynamics. The W maximum obtained from the first law of thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q plus W. Now delta A, instead of delta A, I can put the value of minus W. Instead of delta A, I can put the value of delta G is equal to minus W plus P into delta V. Actually the expansion of gas, when 1 mole of an ideal gas during expansion reactions, the volume gets increases, gives the delta V, the difference between the initial volume and the final volume at a constant external pressure. Here the minus W gives the maximum work done, which relates with the Gibbs free energy relationship. So delta G is equal to minus W. You can call it as delta G is equal to minus W. Or W is equal to minus P delta V. We can remember that W is equal to P into delta V. This is the equation Gibbs free energy, which relates the Gibbs free energy with the maximum work done by the system alone. Now, a variation of change with respect to temperature and pressure, variation of free energy change. How it will variation of free energy change, variation of free energy change with temperature like pressure. So variation of free energy change with respect to variation of temperature and pressure. Now the equation given by the equation G is equal to H minus Ts from the first law of thermodynamics is the equation number 1. H is equal to U plus PV. H is equal to U plus PV. This is the equation number 2. Substitute the value of equation number 2 into the equation number 1. G is equal to U plus PV minus Ts. Differentiate this equation with respect to D. So what is the value becomes delta G is equal to delta U plus PdV. So P, when you differentiate here two more variables, one kept constant, differentiate another with respect to volume or with respect to pressure, PdV plus BDP minus TdS minus S into dt. So here so what is the equation of first law? dq is equal to du minus dw. This is the first law of thermodynamics. So equation number 3, give the equation number 3. dq is equal to du minus dw. This is the equation number 4. How? Now the work done by the system due to expansion reactions. So minus dw is equal to P into delta V or P into dV. This is an expansion reaction, so I can put the minus charge here. Minus dw is equal to P into delta V. Now, so dq is equal to du plus P into delta V. So the equation becomes P into delta V. Now, what is the Q? Q is nothing but heat absorbed by the system when during the expansion reactions. So instead of dq, I can write dq is equal to ds. So we know that ds equal to q divided by T. So what is the ds entropy value? ds equal to q by T. ds equal to q by T. So put the T into the equal to opposite side. dds equal to Tds equal to q. So instead of dq, I can write the equation like Tds equal to du plus P into dv. This is the equation number 5. Compare the equation number 3 and 5. Compare the equation number 3 and 5. What is the value remaining? here the delta U value, here the PdV is actually present in the equation number 5. Similarly, delta U PdV plus TdS. So these are the value are cancelled to each other. Delta TdS, PdV, delta U value. What is the remaining is delta G is equal to VdP minus S into dt. Actually, these are the value given by the equation number 6. So when you this equation actually gives the change of free energy when a system undergoes a change of pressure and temperature. This equation actually gives the change of free energy with respect to pressure, with respect to temperature. If the pressure remains constant, if pressure remains constant, P is equal to 0. Now the equations becomes, dP is equal to 0. dG is equal to minus S into dt. And we can write the another form of way, dG or dou G divided by dou T at constant pressure is equal to minus S. So if a temperature remains constant, if temperature remains constant, dt is equal to 0. So now the equations become dG is equal to VdP. dG is equal to V into dP. So what is rearrange this equation? Dou G divided by dou P at T is equal to V. What is the remaining? P. So these are the value change of free energy with respect to temperature, with respect to pressure. The temperature and the pressure gives the value of entropy and volume. If the pressure changes, the volume increases. The temperature changes, entropy value changes. So we can write in the another form of way, delta G here, delta G is equal to G2 minus G1. When you differentiate these, integrate these equations, like limiting value P1 to P2, V into dP. So instead of V, we can write for the 1 mole of an ideal gas, PV is equal to RT. So V is equal to RT divided by P. V is equal to RT divided by P. Now substitute the value of V into the equations. Substitute the value of equation in delta G is equal to integration of P1 to P2 RT divided by P into dP. Because the RT in the integration outside, RT P1 to P2, delta G is equal to dP divided by P. So delta G is equal to RT, delta G is equal to RT ln P2 divided by P1. When you write these equations for volume changes, these equations becomes delta G is equal to RT ln V1 divided by V2. For n mole of an ideal gas, this equation changes like PV is equal to, delta G is equal to N into RT ln P2 divided by P1, or delta G is equal to N into RT ln V1 divided by V2. This is the final equation. These are the final equations when during the changes of free energy. So now we can see the Maxwell relations. Actually, Maxwell the scientist relating the various expression like parameters connecting the internal energy, enthalpy, and entropy, and free energy. This actually related with the various parameters like entropy, temperature, and pressure and volume. These are the various parameters. Thermodynamics quantities like enthalpy, entropy, and free energy. These are the connecting one of the relation by the Maxwell. So now let's see the Maxwell relationship. So various expression like internal energy and enthalpy and free energy and Gibbs-Helmholtz function, which relates relevant parameters like entropy, the temperature and volume and pressure. These are the connecting relationship actually called using the Maxwell relationship. These are the very important question in the thermodynamics, Maxwell relations. Maxwell relations. So Maxwell actually various expression connecting internal energy U, enthalpy H, and Helmholtz function A, and Gibbs free energy G with relevant parameters. Relevant parameters like entropy S, temperature and pressure and volume. These are the equations connecting the various parameters with the thermodynamics definitions like enthalpy, internal energy, and Helmholtz function and free energy. So given by the equation, these are the following equations. The very important one, du is equal to TdS minus P into dV. dH is equal to TdS plus V into dP. Similarly, dA is equal to minus S into dt minus P into dV. Similarly, dG is equal to minus S into dt plus V into dP. These are the four relationship. See the relationship between the enthalpy, internal energy and free energy. There is a two same TdS, here also T into ds. Here the minus PdV, when the internal energy changes, minus PdV becomes here the plus VdP. So these are the four relationship equations given by the thermodynamics properties. So how to relate this equation, how to differentiate this equation from, and how to arrive the Maxwell relation from this equation. These are the four equations relates all the relevant properties with enthalpy, internal energy and Gibbs free energy, because in all the properties temperature and pressure and volumes comes with this equation. So differentiate this equation, kept one of the variables at constant, differentiate other one, and differentiate the other one and kept one of the variables becomes constant. If temperature and pressure, if you kept any one of the pressure with respect to differentiate temperature, or kept temperature constant and vary the pressure, dou T here, differentiate from the first equation we can write dou T, differentiate T with respect to volume divided by dou T divided by dou T. First of all, you take the temperature and volume, dou T divided by dou V with respect to S. So what is the remaining entropy, change in entropy? So dou T divided by dou V at S equal to minus P. So minus dou P divided by dou S, because when you differentiate this equation, dou T divided by dou V, similarly dou P divided by dou S. Dou P divided by dou S what is the remaining? Dou P divided by dou S at V. So this is equation number 1. So in the second case, dou T divided by, these are 4 equations becomes what we have written here in the like form, because these are all 4 different form, but when the minus and plus charges changes here, but all the terms introduced in the relevant parameters should be same. So dou T divided by dou P, dou T divided by dou P at S. So dou T divided by dou P at S is equal to dou V divided by dou S at P. So dou V divided by dou S at P. This is the second equations. So for third equation, Gibbs-Helmholtz equation, minus dou S divided by dou V at minus dou S divided by dou V at T is equal to minus dou P divided by dou T, minus dou P divided by dou T at V. And the last one, minus dou S divided by dou P at T is equal to dou V divided by dou T at P. So equation number 3 and equation number 4. So these are the 4 relationships given by the Maxwell. These are the very important question in the thermodynamics syllabus. So with this we will stop. We have what discussed till now, how the entropy changes with respect to temperature and pressure, and what is Gibbs free energy and Helmholtz function. How the Helmholtz function and Gibbs free energy, which relates with the maximum work done during the expansion reactions, and how the Gibbs free energy changes with respect to temperature and pressure and Maxwell relationship. Thank you, students.